Peace and love, soul family, and welcome to part 2 of my reading of The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. If you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Goddess Eboni Q, and I am your doula of higher consciousness, sacred womb keeper, and thank you for joining us today. We'll be doing chapter 1 of The Four Agreements. So if you are new here and you do not have the book, you can try checking it out at your local library, supporting your local library. If not, then you can check out your local bookstore. We have to support our smaller businesses as well. But if that isn't your thing and you'd like to order things online, there is a link in the description bar to Amazon. You can get the book in ebook form or a physical copy. And any purchase you make through that link click will directly contribute to the building of this community. A small portion will return back to me. So thank you so much in advance. And yeah, let's get started. Chapter 1 is on page 1. We are out of the Roman numerals. And the quote on the page says, "Living is easy with eyes closed, misunderstanding all you can see." And that's by John Lennon. Title chapter 1 is Domestication and the Dream of the Planet. What you are seeing and hearing right now is nothing but a dream. You are dreaming right now in this moment. You are dreaming with the brain awake. Dreaming is the main function of the mind, and the mind dreams 24 hours a day. It dreams when the brain is awake, and it also dreams when the brain is asleep. The difference is that when the brain is awake, there's a material frame that makes us perceive things in a linear way. When we go to sleep, we do not have the frame, and the dream has the tendency to change constantly. Humans are dreaming all the time. Before we were born, the humans before us created a big outside dream that we will call society's dream, or the dream of the planet. The dream of the planet is the collective dream of billions of smaller personal dreams, which together create a dream of a family, a dream of a community, a dream of a city, a dream of a country, and finally a dream of the whole humanity. The dream of the planet includes all of society's rules, its beliefs, its laws, its religion, its different cultures and ways to be, its government, schools, social events, and holidays. We are born with the capacity to learn how to dream, and the humans who live before us teach us how to dream the way society dreams. The outside dream has so many rules that when a new human is born, we hook the child's attention and introduce these rules into his or her mind. The outside dream uses mom and dad, the schools, and religion to teach us how to dream. I'm just going to reiterate that he says the humans who lived before us teach us how to dream the way society dreams. We're taught how to think. We are subjugated to this collective reality, or this collective consciousness that was created before us, and that we continue to push along if we accept that to be our reality. And I think even if we don't, there's still what I would consider like societal pressures that are always kind of playing in the background as long as we are here living in this experience. So, page 3. Attention is the ability we have to discriminate and to focus only on that which we want to perceive. We can perceive millions of things simultaneously, but using our attention, we can hold whatever we want to perceive in the foreground of our mind. The adults around us hooked our attention and put information into our minds through repetition. This is the way we learned everything we know. By using our attention, we learned a whole reality. a whole dream. We learned how to behave in society, what to believe, what not to believe, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, what is good, what is bad, what is beautiful and what is ugly, what is right and what is wrong. It was all there already, all that knowledge, all those rules and concepts about how to behave in the world. When you were in school, you sat in a little chair and put your attention on what the teacher was teaching you. And when you went to church, you put your attention on what the priest or the minister was telling you. It is the same dynamic with mom and dad, brothers and sisters. They were all trying to hook your attention. We also learn to hook the attention of other humans, and we develop a need for attention, which can become very competitive. Children compete for the attention of their parents, their teachers, their friends. Look at me, look at what I'm doing. Hey, I'm here. The need for attention becomes strong and continues into adulthood. The outside dream hooks our attention and teaches us what to believe, beginning with the language that we speak. Language is the code for understanding and communication between humans. Every letter, every word in each language is an agreement. Wow. We call this a page in a book. The word page is an agreement that we understand. Oh, that gives so much more meaning to, like, when you're having a conversation and you and the person aren't on the same page. Syntax. Okay. Once we understand the code, our attention is hooked and the energy is transferred from one person to another. It was not your choice to speak English. You didn't choose your religion or your moral values. They were already there before you were born. We never had the opportunity to choose what to believe or what not to believe. We never chose even the smallest of these agreements. We didn't even choose our own name. And as children, we didn't have the opportunity to choose our beliefs, but we agreed with the information that was passed on to us from the dream of the planet via other humans. The only way to store information is by agreement. The outside dream may hook our attention, but if we don't agree, we don't store that information. As soon as we agree, we believe it, and this is called faith. To have faith is to believe unconditionally. And that's how we learn as children. Children believe everything adults say. We agree with them, and our faith is so strong that the belief system controls our whole dream of life. We didn't choose these beliefs, and we may have rebelled against them, but we were not strong enough to win the rebellion. So the result is surrender to the beliefs with our agreement. And I call this process the domestication of humans. And through this domestication, we learn how to live and how to dream. In human domestication, the information from the outside dream is conveyed to the inside dream, creating a whole belief system. And so first the child is taught the name of things: mom, dad, milk, bottle. And day by day, at home, at school, at church, and from television, we are taught how to live. What kind of behavior is acceptable? The outside dream teaches us how to be human. We have a whole concept of what a woman is and what a man is. And we also learn to judge. We judge ourselves, we judge other people, we judge the neighbors. And children are domesticated the same way that we domesticate a cat, a dog, or any other animal. In order to teach a dog, we punish the dog and we give it rewards. And we train our children, whom we love so much, the same way that we train any domesticated animal, with a system of punishment and reward. And we are told, you're a good boy or you're a good girl when we do what mom and dad wants us to do. And when we don't, we are a bad girl or a bad boy. And when we went against the rules, we were punished. When we went along with the rules, we got a reward. We were punished many times a day, and we were rewarded many times a day. Soon we became afraid of being punished and also afraid of not receiving the reward. So the reward is the attention that we got from our parents or from other people like siblings, teachers, and friends. And we soon developed the need to hook other people's attention in order to get the reward. The reward feels good, and we keep doing what others want us to do in order to get the reward. With that fear of being punished and that fear of not getting the reward, we start pretending to be what we're not, just to please others, just to be good enough for someone else. We try to please mom and dad. We try to please the teachers at school. We try to please the church. And so we start acting. We pretend to be what we're not because we are afraid of being rejected. The fear of being rejected becomes the fear of not being good enough. And eventually we become someone that we're not. We become a copy of mama's beliefs, daddy's beliefs, society's beliefs, and religion's beliefs. All our normal tendencies are lost in the process of domestication. And when we are old enough for our mind to understand, we learn the word no. The adults say, don't do this and don't do that. And we rebel and we say no. We rebel because we are defending our freedom. We want to be ourselves, but we are very little. And the adults are big and strong. And after a certain time, we are afraid because we know that every time we do something wrong, we are going to be punished. So the domestication is so strong that at a certain point in our lives, we no longer need anyone to domesticate us. We don't need mom or dad, the school or the church to domesticate us. We are so well trained that we are our own domesticator. That's when the programming goes on autopilot. And we no longer need our parents to keep reinforcing, or the school or the institution to keep reinforcing what they want us to fall in line to, because now it's in our heads and we hear it constantly. It's now a part of our subconscious programming. All right, so now we're on page 9. We are an auto-domesticated animal. We can now domesticate ourselves according to the same belief system we were given and using the same system, punishment and reward. We punish ourselves when we don't follow the rules according to our belief systems via shame and blame and guilt, all those emotions. And we reward ourselves when we are the good boy or the good girl. The belief system is like a book of law that rules our mind. Without question, whatever is in the book of law is our truth. We base all of our judgments according to the book of law, even if these judgments go against our own true inner nature. Even moral laws like the 10 Commandments are programmed into our mind in the process of domestication. And one by one, all these agreements go into the book of law, and these agreements rule our dream. There is something in our minds that judges everybody and everything, including the weather, the dog, the cat, everything. The inner judge uses what is in our book of law to judge everything we do and don't do, everything we think and don't think, and everything we feel and don't feel. Everything lives under the tyranny of this judge. Every time we do something that goes against the book of law, the judge says we are guilty. We need to be punished. We should be ashamed. This happens many times a day, day after day, for all of the years of our lives. And there's another part of us that receives the judgments. And this part is called the victim. The victim carries the blame, the guilt, and the shame. It is a part of us that says, poor me. I'm not good enough. I'm not intelligent enough. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not worthy of love. Poor me. The big judge agrees and says, yes, you are not good enough. And this is all based on a belief system that we never chose to believe. These beliefs are so strong that even years later, when we are exposed to new concepts and try to make our own decisions, we find that these beliefs still control our lives. Whatever goes against the book of law will make you feel a funny sensation in your solar plexus. It's called fear. Breaking the rules in the book of law opens your emotional wounds, and your reaction is to create emotional poison. Because everything that is in the book of law has to be true. Anything that challenges what you believe is going to make you feel unsafe. Even if the book of law is wrong, it makes you feel safe. And I would just really love to sidetrack for a moment and speak on this, because I see a lot of posts on Instagram that talk about feeling safe, like your soulmate or people around you are supposed to make you feel safe. And if you feel safe, or if you feel at home with these people, that means that these are your people. And I don't think that is always the truth. I do believe that it takes a certain level of presence and awareness with self, and also honoring one's experience, especially when you know that you have had a very traumatic past, or there's a lot of unhealed aspects surrounding relationships with in any type of relationship. So sometimes things that feel at home for us are very dysfunctional if our home life in growing up was very dysfunctional, as it talks about here in the book of law. So if your book of law was shaped and formed through the modeling of your parents' unelevated, or like people like to say toxic, I say unelevated behaviors, now when someone comes around and they are not acting like this, like, of course there's an innate knowing that this does not feel good, whatever this dynamic is that you're seeing growing up in your home life. But to your subconscious, the programming, your body chemistry, like all of that is being formed surrounding these unhealthy tendencies and these unhealthy beliefs. So when you get around people who actually may be healthy, this feels unsafe for you because you've never experienced this. This is a phenomenon. Also, some people who come into your life are not going to make you feel comfortable. Like, they'll never threaten your like physical safety or display any like malice towards you, but at the same time they might challenge you to hold yourself accountable. They might challenge you to truly grow and see yourself, and that is going to make you feel unsafe in your body, especially if you have a tendency to, let's say, run from conflict, and you have a friend who actually wants to talk it out with you, or a partner who wants to talk it out with you. This is going to make you feel very unsafe in your body. So I think that it takes just the knowing that your book of law may not be true, although in your conscious world, or the world that you've chosen, to your ego it has to be true. But this does not mean that this is healthy. There is a huge difference. So we are in the middle of page 11, and I believe we'll stop here for the day. I feel like that is a message to ponder on within itself. And so for the next video, we'll pick back up on page 11 and finish out chapter 1 for the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment your thoughts on what we've read, the material, and any insights it might have sparked for you. And if you benefited from this reading and there's anyone that you think would benefit from this reading as well, be sure to share this video with them. And until next time, peace and love.